Hello students, welcome to Chem Explorer. Some of you have requested to prepare a video on stereochemistry. Of course you know this is a large topic and a tricky one, so we cannot finish the whole topic in a single video. In this part 1, we are going to discuss about the conformational isomerism portion of stereochemistry. We will be discussing about the drawing of conformational isomers. We will be discussing about the energy of the conformational isomers and their stability order as well. So without wasting any time, let's move on to the part 1. Let's move on to the first slide. So as you all know, what are isomers? This thing we have studied since class 10. Isomers are different compounds with same molecular formula but different physical and chemical properties. This we all know. So this is the definition of isomers. Isomers are different compounds with same molecular formula but different physical and chemical properties. Now there are two types of isomers. This is a broad classification. One is called the constitutional isomer, another one is called the stereoisomers. So if you are looking at this table, you can see there is a broad classification. Isomers can be divided into two categories. One is constitutional isomers, one is stereoisomers. So what are constitutional isomers? Constitutional isomers have same or different functional groups and they have different physical and chemical properties. Constitutional isomers, we all know, they have same or different functional groups and they have different physical or chemical properties. Alright, let us suppose dimethyl ether and ethyl alcohol. These are constitutional isomers. We are not going to discuss constitutional isomers in this video. So let's move on to the stereoisomerism portion. So you can see stereoisomers may be of two types. One is configurational isomer, another one is the conformational isomers. Now the configurational, what are stereoisomers? Stereoisomers have same functional groups. Remember this, stereoisomers have same functional groups and they are only different in spatial arrangement of atoms or groups. Stereoisomers have same functional groups and only different with respect to the spatial arrangement of atoms or groups. That is, they differ only in the way the atoms are oriented in space. So what we all know? We know molecules are three-dimensional, correct? So atoms are present in different orientations, or atoms or groups are present in different orientations in space. So stereoisomers, they differ only in the way the atoms are oriented in space. I'll be giving you some examples, then it will be absolutely clear what I mean by the orientation of atoms in space. Okay, now they have identical UPAC names as well. Okay, the 3D arrangement of atoms, or groups in space is called the configuration of the compound. This is called the configuration of the compound. Stereoisomers differ in configuration. Okay, so now we move on to this table. We have stereoisomers. This can be configurational isomer or conformational isomer. Configurational isomer may be of geometrical isomer or optical isomer. Optical isomer can be enantiomers or diastereomers. So you can see a lot of types are there in stereoisomerism. But in this video, we will be discussing about the conformational isomerism portion only. So let's move on to the next slide. Alright. So now, what are conformational isomers? So conformational isomerism is a form of stereoisomerism in which the isomers can be interconverted just by rotation about formally single bonds. Now one thing we should understand, if we have this kind of a compound a carbon bonded with a carbon. Let us suppose we have ethane. So you can see here is a C single bonded C. Just remember, C single bond C can rotate. CC single bond can rotate. Alright, CC double bond and CC triple bond cannot rotate due to the formation of another pi bond. Okay, but CC single bond, here is only a sigma bond. So CC single bond can rotate. So the type of isomerism, the type of isomers that originates from the interconversion of the CC single bond, they are called conformational isomers. So once again the definition: conformational isomerism is a form of stereoisomerism in which the isomers can be interconverted just by rotations about formally single bonds. Just by rotating the CC single bond, we can obtain conformational isomers. So the first and the simplest example is ethane. So what are the conformational isomers for ethane? So as you can see, there are several projections used to produce the conformation, to show the conformation of organic compounds, out of which these two are very important: the Shawhorst projection and the Newman projection. Okay, so Newman projection is most widely used to show the conformation of organic compounds. So how do you draw these compounds? So let's move on to a blank page. Okay, so suppose we have CH3, CH3. Okay, let's number this. This is carbon 1, this is carbon 2. In Shawhorst projection, this kind of a line is drawn. Over here there is carbon 1, over here there is carbon 2. Now carbon 1 has formed 3 bonds with hydrogen. So 1, 2 and 3. Hydrogen, hydrogen and hydrogen. Carbon 2 has formed 3 bonds as well. So hydrogen, hydrogen and hydrogen. So now look, these 2 hydrogen atoms are in parallel position. These 2 hydrogen atoms are in parallel position. These 2 hydrogen atoms are in parallel position. Correct? This kind of a conformation is called eclipse conformation. This kind of a conformation is called eclipse conformation. Now, as I already told you, this CC single bond, this bond can rotate. This bond can rotate. So theoretically, infinite number of possibilities are there. Okay, but 2 important possibilities are this eclipse one and the next one I'll draw. So what is done? What is done? Carbon 1. So let's draw the thing. H, H, H. Carbon 1 remaining fixed. Due to the rotation of this bond, what happens? In carbon 2, this becomes the new position of the hydrogen atoms. So now you can see, drawing is important. So now you can see these 2 hydrogens are absolutely in opposite direction. these two hydrogens are absolutely in opposite directions. These two hydrogens are absolutely in opposite directions. So these are the two possibilities. These are the two extreme possibilities. The first possibility is all the hydrogen atoms are parallel to each other. And the next possibility is the hydrogen atoms are opposite to each other. So this is called the staggered or anti-conformation. So these are the two conformations possible for ethane molecule. Okay, so this is about the Shor's projection formula. Now what about Newman projection formula? Again we have CH3, CH3. This one is carbon 1, this one is carbon 2. So in Newman projection formula, this kind of a circle is drawn. At the center of the circle there is carbon 1. So carbon 1 has formed 3 bonds with hydrogen. So hydrogen, hydrogen, hydrogen. And just in the opposite direction of carbon 1 there is carbon 2, which we cannot see. So just the back side of carbon 1 there is carbon 2. So we cannot see the carbon 2, but of course we can see the hydrogen atoms. So this one is a hydrogen, this one is another hydrogen, this one is another hydrogen. So carbon 2 is just in the opposite direction of carbon 1. So we cannot see carbon 2 when we are looking from the forward direction. Okay, so now again two possibilities. These two hydrogens are parallel to each other. These two hydrogens are parallel to each other. These two hydrogens are parallel to each other. This is called the eclipse conformation. And similarly, if we are talking about the staggered conformation or the anti-conformation, what we have? We have this is carbon 1. It has formed 3 bonds. 1, 2 and 3. Now all the hydrogen atoms are in opposite direction. So this is called the staggered conformation or the anti-conformation. So this is how we draw the Shor's projection and the Newman projection. So let's move on to the previous slide. So now you can see this is the Shor's projection for ethane. So you can see this is the eclipse conformation, where look, these two hydrogens are parallel to each other, these two hydrogens are parallel to each other, these two hydrogens are parallel to each other. Similarly, this one, the next one, is the staggered conformation, where look, this hydrogen and this hydrogen are opposite to each other, this hydrogen and this hydrogen are opposite to each other, this hydrogen and this hydrogen are opposite to each other. So this is called the staggered conformation or the anti-conformation. What about the Newman projection? So you understand. So this is the eclipse conformation, this one is the staggered conformation. Look, so this is, we understand, this is carbon 1 at the center of the circle. So we are looking from the front side, so we cannot see the carbon 2 at the back side of carbon 1. So when the two hydrogens are parallel to each other or in the same direction, that is eclipse conformation. When the two hydrogens are opposite to each other, that is the staggered or anti-conformation. Alright, that is the staggered or the anti-conformation. Now which one is the most stable conformation? So we move on to the next slide, and then we shall discuss about the stability. Okay. So now this is a diagram where we have plotted the energy with the rear carbon rotation angle. The carbon 2, due to the rotation of CC bond, only we are changing the direction of the hydrogen atoms bonded to carbon 2. We are taking the C1 to be fixed. Look, this is important. We are taking C1 to be fixed. We are only rotating the hydrogen atoms attached with carbon 2. Okay, so first, when the angle is 0 degree, that is, we are considering the eclipse conformation. We are talking about this angle. We are talking about this angle. We are talking about this angle, the angle between two adjacent hydrogen atoms. The hydrogen atom bonded to the front carbon and the hydrogen atom bonded to the back carbon. That is, the hydrogen atom bonded to C1 and the hydrogen atom bonded to C2. We are talking about the angle between them. So in this case, you can see two hydrogen atoms are absolutely in the same direction. So the angle is 0 degree. In this case, the staggered conformation, the dihedral angle is 60 degree right now. Okay. So now, first, when the angle, the dihedral angle is 0 degree, then look, the energy for that particular conformation is highest. Look, this is highest. Look, this is the energy of this conformer. These are called conformers. So this is the energy of this conformer, 12 kilojoule per mole approximately. Okay. When the CC bond rotates and this reaches 60 degree angle, that is, this becomes the conformation. This becomes the conformation. Look, the energy is least. Okay, the energy is least. So obviously from this diagram we understand staggered conformation is more stable than eclipse conformation. Now why this is happening? This is the important question, why this is happening. Okay, this is happening due to torsional strain. This is happening due to torsional strain. What is torsional strain? Okay, again we understand what is torsional strain in a blank page. Okay, we move on to a blank page. So look, this one is a Shor's projection formula. So look at these two CH bonds. Look at these two CH bonds. Look, these CH bonds are absolutely in the same direction. Now the bonds, they are made of electrons. So there is a repulsion between these two bonds. This kind of a repulsion is called torsional strain. Once again, the repulsion between two bonded electrons is called torsional strain. So what we understand, you can see there is this torsional strain, there is this torsional strain, there is this torsional strain. So there are three CH bonds which are producing torsional strain. Alright. So in the eclipse isomer we can see there are torsional strain. But what about the staggered conformation? Let us draw the staggered conformation. Look, in the staggered conformation all the bonds are in different direction. All the bonds are in different direction. Okay, so there is no such torsional strain in a given staggered conformation. So whenever there is a strain inside a particular molecule, the molecule is having more energy, and more energy means the particular substance becomes less stable. So more energy means less stable, less energy means more stable. Correct. So more energy, less stable, less energy, more stable. So in case of eclipse conformer, you can see there is much torsional strain, and due to the torsional strain the conformer has more energy, so that's why it is less stable. Whereas in the staggered conformation there is no such torsional strain, so it has less energy, so it is more stable. So this is all about torsional strain. So now you understand why the staggered conformer of ethane is more stable than the eclipse conformer of ethane. Okay, so if we discuss this graph, so again look, after 60-degree rotation, if you rotate the CC bond by another 60 degree, then this hydrogen, again look, this hydrogen comes beside this hydrogen, this hydrogen goes beside this hydrogen, this hydrogen goes beside this hydrogen. So again you obtain an eclipsed conformation. So look, energy again increases. Again if you rotate by 60 degree, so from 120 degree you are going to 180 degree, again you are rotating by 60 degree. So what happens? Then again you are obtaining a staggered conformation. Then the energy is less compared to the eclipse conformation. Again if you rotate by 60 degree and the total rotation becomes 240 degree, again it will be an eclipse conformation and energy increases. Again if you rotate by 60 degree and the rotation becomes 300 degree, in total you obtain a staggered conformation, the energy again decreases. Again if you rotate by 60 degree and the total rotation becomes 360 degree, you obtain the initial conformation, that is the eclipse conformation once again, and you have the higher energy conformation, which is having the energy of approximately 2.9 kilocalorie per mole or 12 kilojoule per mole. Okay, so this is the energy in kilojoule unit, this is the energy in kilocalorie unit. Alright, so this is all about the conformation of ethane. Let's move on to the next slide. Now what are the conformations for propane? So now we know about the conformations. So in case of propane, you can see there is two conformations. One is the eclipsed propane, one is the staggered propane. In eclipsed propane, you can see the CH3 and the H and all the hydrogens, they are beside each other. So that's why this is the eclipsed conformation. In case of staggered, you can see the CH3 and hydrogen, they are in opposite direction. This hydrogen opposite direction. This hydrogen are in opposite direction. So this is the staggered conformation, and of course you understand the staggered conformation is more stable due to the eclipse conformation, because in the eclipse conformation there is a torsional strain between this CCH3 and CH bond, between this bond and this CH bond, this CH bond and the backward CH bond, this CH bond and the backward CH bond. Okay, so there is torsional strain, but here you can see in staggered conformation there is no such torsional strain. So the staggered conformation of propane is much more stable compared to the eclipsed conformation. So this is the diagram, the energy diagram. You can see, so this is 0 degree angle where this CH3 and the hydrogen, they are in the same direction. So this is the eclipse conformation having the highest energy. Then you are rotating the bond by 60 degree. So you have this conformation where the CH3 and H, they are having a 60 degree angle. So the energy is stabilized. Again if you rotate by 60 degree, you have another eclipse conformation. So you have a more energy state. Again you rotate by 60 degree, you have another staggered conformation, less energy state. You rotate by 60 degree, you have another eclipse conformation, high energy state. You rotate by 60 degree, you have another staggered conformation, less energy state, and so on. So this is absolutely similar to that of our ethane. Okay, now the last example and the critical example is butane. So we move on to the next slide. So this is the final example, the conformational isomerism in butane, that is CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3. So what are the isomers of butane? So look, in butane you can see there are this kind of isomerism possible, this kind of conformations possible. The first one is, you can see anti-conformation. Which one is anti? Where the CH3 are absolutely in opposite direction. Okay, let me show you how do you draw the conformation for butane. then we can easily understand. So we move on to a blank page. So this is our butane. Look, CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3. This carbon is taken as number 1, this carbon is taken as number 2. Alright, so we draw the Newman projection. So this is the carbon 1. Carbon 1 has formed 3 bonds with one methyl group, one hydrogen, another hydrogen. Carbon 2 has also formed 3 bonds, one methyl group, one hydrogen, and another hydrogen. When the 2 methyl group are absolutely in the same direction, this is called fully eclipsed condition. This is called fully eclipsed conformation. When the 2 largest group are in the same direction, that is called fully eclipsed conformation. Now, after 60-degree rotation, what happens? Look, if you rotate the bond by 60 degree, as you all know, C1 carbon should be fixed. So we are rotating the C2 carbon only. So what happens? CH3, H, H. So the CH3 group of the C2 comes to this position. The hydrogen comes at this position. The other hydrogen comes at this position. Where look, the 2 bulky groups are not parallel to each other, but there is a dihedral angle of 60 degree. Look, there is a 60 degree angle between these 2 CH3 group. This is called gauge conformation. Gauge, G-A-U-C-H-E. This is called the gauge conformation. Now again, if you rotate the bond by 60 degree, what happens? You can understand this CH3 comes to this position, this hydrogen comes to this position, this hydrogen comes to this position. Let me show you. So I guess we don't need the fully eclipsed conformation. So I am erasing the fully eclipsed conformation. I am drawing the gauge conformation only. So we have H, H, CH3, CH3, H, H. This is the gauge conformation. Now again we are rotating by 60 degree. That is, the total rotation becomes 120 degree. So what happens? This CH3 comes beside this hydrogen. Understood? This hydrogen comes beside this hydrogen, and this hydrogen comes beside this CH3 group. So this will be the drawing. Look, we have C1 fixed, CH3, H, H. CH3 comes beside this hydrogen, the other hydrogen comes beside this hydrogen, and the remaining hydrogen comes beside this CH3. Look, here also the 3 groups are beside each other. This CH3 is beside this hydrogen, this CH3 is beside this hydrogen, this H is beside this H. So this is also an eclipsed conformation, but not fully eclipsed. This is called partially eclipsed conformation. This is called partially eclipsed conformation. Now again, if you rotate by 60 degree, again if you rotate by 60 degree, what happens? You can understand this CH3 group comes at this position. Okay, let me draw. Let me draw the partially eclipsed conformation and the next conformation. Okay, I am erasing the whole thing. So we have this. This is the partially eclipsed conformation. Okay, now you rotate, this one is CH3. Now if you rotate the C1 C2 bond by 60 degree once again, so what happens, you understand, this CH3 comes to this position, so this will be the new position. Look, we have CH3 H H. The CH3 attached with carbon 2 comes at this position. The two hydrogens comes at this position. So this is, look here, both the largest groups, the bulkiest groups are in the opposite direction. This is called the anti-conformation. This is called the anti-conformation. So this is all about the conformers of butane. These are the all conformers of butane: the fully eclipsed, gauge, the partially eclipsed, and the anti-conformation. Okay, so let's move on to the previous slide. So this is how we can draw the conformers. All right. So now we understand, we have the anti-conformation where both the CH3 groups are in opposite direction. After 60 degree rotation, okay, we cannot understand this from this diagram, but let us take this diagram. We have the fully eclipsed conformation. The two largest groups, the two CH3 groups, are in the same direction. After 60 degree rotation, we have the gauge conformation. After 60 degree more rotation, we have the partially eclipsed conformation. Again, if you rotate by 60 degree, we have the anti-conformation. Again, if you rotate by 60 degree, you have the partially eclipsed conformation. Again, if you rotate by 60 degree, you have the gauge conformation. Again, if you rotate by 60 degree, you reach the fully eclipsed conformation once again. So these are the conformations of butane. This is very important. Now what are the strains present in butane molecule? Now here, along, or what is the stability order of these conformers? Okay, so in butane, now we try to understand. Look, in this eclipse conformation, look, the two CH3 groups are in same direction. These two hydrogens are in the same directions. These two hydrogens are also in the same direction. So obviously there is torsional strain arising from the repulsion of electrons among the bonds. But along with this torsional strain, there is another strain. Look here, two bulky groups are present in the same direction. So whenever two bulky groups are present in a small space, we know there is another factor operating, which is called a steric factor. So in this fully eclipsed conformation of butane, along with torsional strain, there is also steric strain. So the fully eclipsed conformation of butane is having high energy and is the least stable conformer of butane. Whereas in gauge conformation, you can see there is no such steric strain, but very less steric strain and very less torsional strain. So the gauge conformer is more stable than the fully eclipsed conformer. The gauge conformer is more stable than the partially eclipsed conformer as well, because you can see in partially eclipsed conformer there is also high torsional strain due to 3 pairs of bond, sigma bond. Okay, so the highest energy state, the highest energy conformer is the fully eclipsed. Then we have the partially eclipsed. Then we have the gauge. Then we have the anti. Look, here is no such strain, no torsional strain, no steric strain. So the energy order will be anti, less than gauge, less than partially eclipsed, less than fully eclipsed. So 1, is anti, 3 is gauge, 2 is partially eclipsed, 4 is fully eclipsed. So this is all about the conformation of butane and their relative stabilities. You can see that particular thing from this diagram as well, from this graph as well. So look, when the two CH3 groups are absolutely opposite to each other, the energy is least. Then when we are talking about the partially eclipsed, the energy increases by around 16 kilojoule per mole. When again the conformation becomes gauge, energy decreases and having almost this is having almost 3.8 kilojoule per mole of energy compared to the eclipse conformation, compared to the eclipse anti-conformation. Then after rotation, we again the fully eclipse conformation, which is having the highest energy, 19 kilojoule per mole. Then we have the gauge conformation, less energy. Then we have the partially eclipse conformation, more energy than gauge, less energy than fully eclipsed. And finally again we have the anti-conformation having least energy. So this is all about the conformation of ethane, propane and butane, and how to draw these conformations, what are the energy order and what are the stability order. Hope you understand this thing. It is not that simple. You need to see this video a lot of times to understand all the concepts. If you have any question, you can write it down in the comment section. I'll try to answer all the questions you post. Alright, thank you so much, and do subscribe this channel and share this video with your friends.